I'm thrilled to announce that this season's sponsor, Ruby, is a personal favourite of mine. It is the premium at-home beauty and wellness services platform. Ruby works with an incredible network of expert professional beauty and wellness therapists that can be booked directly to your home to deliver a host of treatments, from blow dries to manicures, makeup and massages. Ruby vets all of their therapists, and I cannot fault the quality. I've been using the services for many years, and I've always had a 5-star experience. In a world where we're so busy, with limited time available to have our much-needed treatments, Ruby allows you to get your time back in the luxury of your own home. Whether it's a 7 a.m. pre-work blow-dry, a relaxing evening facial, a last-minute spray tan, even IV drips which you can book up to 60 minutes in advance in London, Manchester, Liverpool and now Zurich too. Since launch, Ruby has firmly positioned itself as the leading luxury on-demand beauty services app and has fans including Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, Robbie and Ida Williams and Abby Clancy, and has been approved by the most discerning of beauty editors. The Ruby app is available on the App Store and Play Store. You can also book your treatments online via their website. It is super simple to use, and when you book, use the code STYLEDNA for £20 off your first treatment. Today, I'm going on a style journey with the pop star, businesswoman, model and actress, the truly fabulous Rachel Stevens.
Thank you.
Hello and
Lovely
welcome. How are you?
I'm good, really good.
Good.
Hot. I don't know why I decided to wear cashmere today,
Yeah,
but
it looks
you know,
fantastic.
but I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. Thank you. And congratulations on your recently published book.
Thank you.
Finding My Voice, as if we didn't know that you had one. A story of strength, self-belief and S Club 7.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about that.
I got the amazing opportunity to write it. It was a real process. It was just before I went on tour with the band. So I started writing it and then went on this whirlwind journey of being back together with the band. And then, so it was quite a stop-start process, but it was amazing, very cathartic, hard, exciting. I mean, it was, I learned a lot from doing it.
Yeah. Probably almost like a bit of analysing your life, I would imagine.
Yeah, going back through the years, because it is really from the beginning. But yeah, just getting the opportunity to share my story and open conversation. And, it was I felt very honoured to be able to do that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, I noticed the title, The Strength and Self-Belief. What inspired that? Because, we see this gorgeous, glossy, sexy pop star. And then I know generally behind that, for all of us, there's doubts,
Yeah, that's exactly it. And for so many years, I felt like I had to be a certain way and play a certain part, and really struggled to have a voice in it all. Felt, quite lost for a lot of my time. It's my late teens, trying to find out who I was, being in the public eye, feeling quite anxious and overthinking everything. And, so yes, it was an opportunity to really talk about that and just sort of show that everything, especially back then in the 90s and the noughties, everything had a glossy finish and everyone saw the finished version. And I just think it's really important to share that behind that is we're all the same and we all have the same insecurities and vulnerabilities. And that's something that I've always really struggled to do, is show that vulnerability, because it felt too exposing. And so that's something that I've worked on a lot. So the book was part of that journey of sort of opening up and sharing, because I think it is wonderful to open conversation and share.
But you're right, because back in the 90s, everything just had to be super polished, super perfect. There was none of this talk of vulnerability or
Mental health.
Knowing the person behind the gloss. It was all about the gloss, wasn't it?
No, absolutely. And especially I think being in exactly. For anyone at that time, yes, in the public eye, but being in a pop group, very young audience, very sort of a responsibility to be a certain way. And I really felt that.
I mean, I'm fascinated being in a pop group that was put together by Simon Fuller, I believe. And how do you have your own identity within that group? Do they literally mood board every character? How does that work?
I could only speak for myself. I think when I got into the band, I was at sort of my self-worth was quite low. I was at a very shaky stage of my life, very sort of, my family had just separated, we'd lost our home. I was very sort of, I didn't have those sort of strong foundations. And S Club was an incredibly exciting escape. You know, I escaped from, that sounds a bit crazy saying, a bit dramatic saying I escaped, but
No.
you know, it was at a time in my life where everything had kind of blown apart and my family was just, I lived for family growing up, and everything I knew had kind of changed almost overnight in a way it felt. And I was just kind of, this incredible opportunity came, and it was just so exciting. So I got into the band at a point when I didn't really, emotionally, I think it was a very sort of shaky time for me. And I grew up as somebody who would internalize everything, and all my feelings would just kind of go in and get bottled up and sort of just stay down there and put the show on. And then I think when you go into something like that, I mean, when you're 19, I mean, who knows really who you are? You're
have no
trying
idea
to find
who you are.
your way in the world. And so I think where I was at that stage, going into the band, I just threw myself into it. And S Club gave me a real structure, gave me excitement. It gave me so many things that I just threw myself into. And I became the sort of character. I kind of learnt on the job and found my way through it. But in terms of my identity and who I was, I know a lot of that just kind of got pushed down, and the sort of show face would go on, and of what I guess I thought people expected me to be. And I played this kind of role a lot of the time, just kind of put the smile on, and, you know, because that's what we do, don't we? Even at the school gates, you know,
fake it to make it.
We do, yeah. And you just find your way.
So today we're going on a style journey. So let's start by asking, how did you decide what to wear today?
Well, I'm very into, I love autumn. It's the best season.
It is the best season
clothes.
to dress for, isn't it?
All the colours, all the sort of muted tones. I'm loving being back I'm feeling very hot, but I'm loving being back in leather again. And cashmere, we were talking about before, weren't we? So I just wanted to be comfortable. Just throw something on. I'd come from the school run. It was really cold this morning, so so this is what I just a simple cashmere and leather
oversized
trousers.
Grey cashmere.
Yeah.
And a pull-on leather.
Exactly. Yeah.
And your shoes?
My shoes, these little slip-ons from Mango.
Gorgeous.
With a little kitten heel.
Gorgeous.
So I always like to have,
I was going to say, do you always wear a heel?
No, I used to always wear a heel, but now I'm a real trainer girl. I love my trainers, but this is a great heel height, I feel, a little kitten heel.
Yeah.
When you want to have a little bit of height.
A little empowering lift.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, you grew up in England. Were you very aware of your parents' style?
Very much, yeah.
Were they super stylish?
Yeah, they were actually. My dad, I've seen pictures of my dad from back in the day, and he was always so immaculately dressed, always in a beautiful suit, hair always like just coiffed to perfection. My mum, also 60s and 70s, the style then was just, everyone got properly dressed up, didn't they? Hair, makeup.
Yeah.
And they were a really beautiful couple. They really were. So yeah, I love all those old photos and the dresses that my mum used to wear. And I've actually still got a dress of my mum's, and it's kind of falling apart.
From what year? Or what sort of era?
60s. Oh. And it's like a black jumpsuit. It's like something out of Studio 54.
Oh, fantastic.
It's all like open at the back and beautifully embroidered in the front. And culottes, high waist, just really cool. And I kind of want to rework. I've got it in this box at home, and I want to sort of redesign it at some point or do something to it to bring it back to life.
Have you ever worn it yourself?
I've dressed up. I've tried it on a few times, but no, not worn it out, because it's a bit kind of worn and flowers are falling off and things.
But it's a good reference.
It's a good reference, exactly,
Fantastic.
for designing at some point.
Do you remember the first moment that you became very aware of the power of clothes?
I can't say I remember the first moment. I just remember my mum and my grandma always being, and my dad, like I said, I was just around a lot of, they always just had good style and cared about the way they dressed and always had good quality clothes, you know, like, I don't know, I just remember my grandma used to work in a fashion shop. She used to be a manager. And I remember it was a really sort of high-end boutique. And I remember going in there and the smell of the shop and the feeling the clothes and just being around it. And every Wednesday, my grandma would come over and my mum and my grandma, while I was at school, would go shopping. And then my mum and grandma would always pick up a few little bits of clothes and lay them out on my bed. So when I got home from school, I'd come home and like be new clothes on the bed. And I used to find that really exciting. I just always loved clothes, but I don't remember where that first moment.
Yeah. Did you wear a school uniform?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And was that a good thing for you at the time, that you just didn't have to think about what you were putting on in the morning?
I liked having a school uniform, but I would modify it. I mean, I would
how?
Well, my skirt would be rolled up. I would like French tuck my shirt. I would like, style it up a little bit.
And did you wear a tie?
Yeah. But I like uniform. I think it's really cool.
Yeah. And did you sort of customise the tie? Did you have a big old...
No, I probably wasn't allowed. Oh, yes, a double knot.
Yeah.
Yeah, double knot. Yeah, yeah. Definitely.
But did you have any rebellious teenage moments with your clothing?
No, no, not really. I've always been quite a minimal dresser. Like I've always sort of... I remember in the 90s, my high-waisted mum jean with my body suit and a belt. I always sort of really cared so much about what I was wearing, but never had a rebellious... I kind of wish I had. That would have been really fun.
You good girl. So
yeah,
you then studied at the London College of Fashion.
Yeah.
Was your dream to be a designer at that stage, or were you on a commercial courses?
I was on a business course, but my dream was to be a buyer. I always wanted to travel. I always loved going to the shops and sort of feeling clothes and sort of seeing what was out in the shop, seeing what was on the fashion TV I'd always have on, or the fashion magazine. So I was always like wanting to be around it, and I loved shopping. So I thought, that would be a really...
Ding, ding, ding.
Tick, tick, tick. Yeah.
And then how did you get from London College of Fashion to being an intern or working in the canteen at Sony when you had that sliding doors moment when Simon Fuller was auditioning?
Well, see, I was actually working for a film company at the time. That was my first proper job, and I had no money, because any bit of money I would just buy clothes with,
of course,
or music. And so I used to go. My younger brother, used to work at Sony in the canteen, and I went in there and used to get a free lunch, and that's how. I didn't even go there that often, so it really was like a real sliding doors moment.
Do you remember what you were wearing that day? That fateful day.
Oh, I do remember what I probably would have been wearing, because I remember it was a Karen Millen black suit, and I thought, oh my God, this is so, my first sort of work outfit was this black suit that I wore to death.
So you came together as a band, and were you very much in control of what your look was going to be within the band, or were you all styled as a band?
We were styled, but we were in control of that. I mean, we'd work with stylists, but again, we were so young, and our clothes sort of represented what we were doing, whether it was like a video, a tour. So yeah, I mean, we all had input into what we were wearing, but it depends, because obviously we had our TV show as well. So that was always very like jeans, t-shirt, and very casual, and so it would just, it'd be dependent on what it was.
And did you own all of those clothes, or was it literally sort of show S-Club wardrobe?
Yeah, I mean, it was so fast. I mean, we'd have our TV shows that we'd have our wardrobe for. And then, so some things might have slipped in the bag. at times, you know, but tour outfits and things like that would be just for the specific shows.
And how did the tour outfits come together? What was the process? Do you remember?
Yeah, we worked with a stylist called Kenny Ho, and he used to love sparkling everything. Everything had to be sparkled, and obviously we did 4 or 5 tours, so every tour had a different theme, or every section of the show would have a different theme. But yeah, it would be a very collaborative thing, and that was always such a fun part of it all.
Because you all danced so much, didn't you?
It was always really high energy dancing, so everything had to be
On you.
good on the boobs and good on, you know, everything had to fit in certain ways to keep everything in place, you know.
And when you came out of S Club and you went solo, were you conscious of your style changing at that time, trying to sort of create your own identity away from that?
Yeah, definitely. It just naturally evolved, I think, more than overthinking it really. But yeah, I think I've got lost along the way at times, for sure, but I've always known what my style is, and it's always kind of come back to that in whatever thing I've been doing, if that makes sense.
You learnt that very young, actually, because a lot of people will say to me, God, I don't think I found my style until I was in my 40s, 50s.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'd say I found my style, but I definitely knew what... Yeah, that's a really good question, actually. That's a really good... Yeah, I really knew what I liked.
Yeah.
But it's ever changing, isn't it, when you're a teenager, then you go into your 20s. And also I had sort of, I guess, insecurities and a lot of outfits.
Insecurities about...
Well, I remember sort of... Well, I guess as you're getting older and you're going through your teenage years, your body's changing and you're... You know, so there were bits that I would show and bits that I wouldn't. And you become strategic about what you want to... So I guess I've really got into my, like... the 90s, like low waist jeans and the flares and the crop tops and so
celebrating the bits you love.
Exactly.
I like to put it like that.
Yes.
Talking costumes, you've not only done Strictly, but Dancing on Ice. Did any of those costumes take you out of your comfort zone? Because they're completely different.
Totally. Actually, as I got more into Strictly and my confidence grew within that, I loved working with the team and designing the costumes. I got really involved in it as the show went on. But I remember the first dance I did was the salsa. And that dance alone was so out of my comfort zone because I'd never danced like that before, you know, and in front of 11 million people on a live show on a, you know, so yes, it was very scary. The outfit, the whole thing. But yeah, as the show went on, I definitely got more like confident with the clothes, and I used to really love ballroom more so than.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And did you find that the clothes really helped the performance?
Yeah. Oh my God, absolutely! Like in every way. You have to feel great, don't you? You have to. Don't you think style is like your armor, isn't it?
Well, I often talk about clothes being our armor.
Yeah,
and
it really is.
Really,
and we all express ourselves in different ways. And for people that love fashion, style is a way of expressing who you are without.
Yeah. It's words. A silent communicator.
It's a silent communicator,
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fundamentally, who would you say that you dress for?
Myself, actually. And yeah, I think women dress for other women, I think. But I don't know. I think it depends on the situation, the circumstance, or where you are, who you're with. But yeah, I think if I feel good in what I'm wearing, then I feel so much more confident.
Yeah.
How about you?
Oh,
it's a really good question.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you dress for you?
I dress absolutely
Yeah.
for me, but I'm very conscious of the environment I'm going into.
Yeah.
So
exactly. It's very circumstantial, isn't it?
And how that will communicate me or bond me to a guest or a group of women.
It depends what you're doing that day, whether it's an evening thing or a whatever, yeah.
Any worst fashion moments?
Yes, so one that always comes to mind is when I went to the Brits, and I don't know what I was thinking. I do know. I was trying to go out of my comfort zone a bit. But yeah, it was an luminous yellow. I think it was Julie McDonald dress. So 90s. Cutouts, crystals, leg out, one's asymmetrical. Yeah, it was just everything in a dress, but
And
not in the best way.
Were you panned in the press for it?
Oh,
Or
I
celebrated
wasn't
for it?
actually. I wasn't. Yeah, it did.
just didn't
It
make
did the
you-
job on the night. But I remember thinking this just doesn't.
Feel you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 But we're always testing, aren't we, as we get growing and all the time. I mean,
Absolutely. I mean, to me, it all comes back to again and again and again. How do I feel
yeah,
in this?
yeah,
Simple
exactly.
as that. How would you want someone to describe your style DNA in 3 words?
Chic, effortless, stylish.
Love that. Love that. So being stylish, that's important to you?
It is. Yeah, it is. I think, like what we were saying earlier, I think style for me is an expression. So yeah, it is important to me. It's a feeling, isn't it? Just like you were saying before, how you feel in what you wear and how you present yourself. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, I know that you love your fashion and you've been lucky enough to do some pretty amazing collaborations. Most recently, probably with Oasis. Were
Yeah.
you very involved in what actually went into that collection?
Yeah, it was such a great process. The team were lovely. We would meet often, and it would start with sitting around the table and looking at what was trending, the fashion shows, what was on the catwalks, and it just evolved. And it was such a great process because I'm so about, getting the opportunity to design a range is such an exciting thing with a big brand. So. But I'm very much into all the little details. So being able to get involved with that.
Yeah. And did you actually try on any of the samples yourself
Everything.
And as the process evolved?
Everything. So yeah, that would be one of the processes down the line, was trying on everything at every stage. And then I'd love the stages where I could keep adding and changing. And
you have been quoted as saying that you, at some point, you'd love to do your own brand.
yeah.
What would it, if there was another brand out there that exists at the moment, which brand would you say you most aspire the Rachel Stevens look to be?
Oh gosh, that's a really hard question. I was just talking actually the other day about Anine Bing. I think the brand that she's created is, I love how it's evolved from. She's done it with she did it with her husband, didn't she, from her garage, and it's kind of grown and grown and grown. And I think she's created something fantastic. But I don't know. It's a hard question because there's so many brands, and I'm such a high street girl. I love our British high street. I think it's the best in the world.
It has never been better.
Hasn't it? I know.
It is extraordinary.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, it really is. And I obviously sort of the higher end high street brands to the designer brands, and I love just mixing and matching pieces together. So it's so difficult to just, whenever I get asked that question, I'm like, my brain goes to a million different
So if I
ways.
said to you, Rachel, you can only dress in 2 brands for the next 5 years, one high street, one designer, money no object.
One high street, one designer.
Yeah, which would they
Oh
be?
my God, that's a hard question.
Only 2.
Honestly, I can't pick one. I can't pick one. I love the high street so much, and my sort of let's come back to that one.
Are you an in-person shopper or are you a constant scroller online?
Oh God, I'm an everything shopper. No, I love to go into store because I love to feel the quality of fabrics, and love seeing, like, that's what I love about the high street as well, is you can find some really gorgeous, great quality finds in M&S, H&M, Zara, all of these, Mango. There's these standout pieces that so I love that. But I love looking online. I love looking at all.
You're a shopper.
I'm a shopper. I love it. I love it.
Now, you were voted FHM's sexiest woman of all time in 2014. That is amazing.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
It's fantastic.
But it is.
It's quite.
It's crazy though, really, because it was so of that. Couldn't imagine doing that now.
I mean,
or being a thing now.
They
so
just get cancelled now.
It's just such a funny thing, and it feels so a million years ago. But yeah,
did you find that
fun.
sort of quite something to live up to?
Yeah, I guess so.
Or was it just a compliment?
Yes, I did. It was a compliment. It was a lovely compliment, and it was really fun. And I saw it for what it was, and felt really nice, felt really flattering, and yeah, it was lovely. But yeah, there is that element too, I think. I think when, you're in the public eye and your looks become such a, just the way you look, being in a pop group, you're constantly being, you'll see paparazzi photos of you on the beach with, or whatever, especially at that time. So your looks do become a big part of who you are. So yeah, you can't help, especially at those sort of formative years where, you're just finding your way in all of that as well. Do
you think you dressed to be that woman at that time?
I always dressed for me. I never felt like even when I did the FHM shoots, I really used to enjoy them because it was an opportunity to do something that was different from smash hits and all the sort of kid magazines. It was a chance to do something that was a bit more sensual, expressive in a different way. And I worked with the team so much that I got to really know them. We became like a little family. So and it was always just, I really enjoy photo shoots on the whole. I think they're a really creative process. Yes, it was just a fun experience. And I never felt like I always felt like I did it with integrity in the way that felt comfortable for me. Yeah. Never felt I had to be anything I wasn't. So yeah.
Were you ever asked to wear something that really you looked at and you just went no?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I was always working with different stylists and things, and they'd show me certain things, but I never felt. It was probably more from a sense of, I don't feel not. I've never felt like I was being forced to wear anything or anything like that, or if I was very much in control of that.
Yeah.
And I was always very sort of sure of what I would and what I wouldn't.
Yeah.
What my boundaries were within that. Yeah. In those sorts of shoots.
Yes, because looking at imagery of around that time, you looked so confident and so in your body, really just loving what you were doing.
Oh, you know what? Sometimes I really did, and sometimes I really didn't. It's like with every day in general. Like some days we feel more confident than others, and we feel like we're smashing it, and then other days we're like, everything's chaos, and it's like, yeah. So some days I'd feel more confident than others.
I mean, is body image something you're very aware of now?
There's definitely an awareness for sure, and it's something that I feel like is just conditioned, and something that I'm constantly working on to. I think building that inner strength as we grow is something that we're always evolving, aren't we? And that's something that I'm really constantly trying to strengthen all the time, so that other side becomes less. Yeah, because we are conditioned. Yeah. Especially as women and men, to feel that we have to look a certain way. Yeah.
How do you stay in shape?
I'm just always, I don't know. I don't always feel like I'm in shape, to be honest. I feel like I've been trying to get back into an exercise program, really eating healthily. Something I really struggle with, just juggling kids and work and life to be consistent. So that's what I'm trying to sort of implement, really baby steps, because I really got out of... I've been sort of, I don't know, these last few years have been crazy, like moving a lot, big change in my personal life, tour, getting back with the band again. So lots of change, and obviously looking after my girls and trying to be the best mum I can. And so it's been like
a juggle
that we all have. So trying to get back into that, of exercising in the morning and eating well.
Yeah. And trying to get enough sleep. Because
trying to
now
get
they're
enough
saying
sleep.
that that's the holy grail.
Yeah, exactly. So many things we need to do to, keep it all going.
I've noticed that you love your oversized tailoring. And as
do, it's hard as a
who's
petite.
quite petite.
Yeah.
It works so beautifully.
Oh, thank you.
So you're very aware of proportion.
Yeah, I am really now. And that's why I'm so passionate about doing a petite range, because I feel like us petite girls can wear everything, these oversized on-trend pieces, but it's all about proportion. And I'm constantly having to get everything altered, even arm length. And what I really love and what I loved about when I did my collaboration with Oasis was the fitting days when I would sort of alter things. And it's the slight changes. It's that little attention to detail that can change and transform the way something fits on you. Yeah. And when you put something on and it just fits you to perfection, that is when it feels so great and effortless.
Good, doesn't it? Yeah. For other petite women out there, what would you say is your main style hack for looking great in your clothes?
High waist, I think, is always great because it elongates the legs, which always need a little bit of help with. And again, I think it's just, like I just said, proportions. If I have like an oversized blazer on, but the sleeves are long, if I just 3/4 show some arm, it makes a difference. It's just the little sort of nips and tucks, and seeing the waist for me is a really good thing. A heel is always obviously a great thing, but again, proportions, leg length. I think if the leg length is right and you put a trainer on, it all kind of works. It's just the proportions.
I mean, you're the mother of 2 daughters, and now one is 13, did you say? Yes, so teenager. Do they have an opinion on what you wear?
Oh my God. You just reminded me of what Minnie said to me this morning. She's so cute. She said, "Mummy, you look stunning this morning." She said to me. So cute. Yeah. They
do they disapprove of anything?
I ask them their opinion. I mean, I really value their opinion. So I do ask. I don't always like the answer, but I definitely like getting them involved. And they're really into fashion and clothes. And
wonder where they got that from.
Yeah, but the teenage dressing things are, not the easiest, and when you get to the point where you can't control what they wear anymore, you just got to kind of let them. It's all part of growing and expressing themselves.
And it's the makeup, isn't it?
The makeup, it's everything.
On their beautiful, beautiful skin.
Oh my God,
skin.
I know.
I mean,
I'm having this with Amelie right now. She has got such beautiful skin and she just wants to cover it all up.
Yeah.
I know, it's painful. It's a process.
It's a process.
It's a process. You've got to trust the process.
What does stay-at-home, chill-out Rachel wear?
I was just saying actually earlier on Sunday. It's the first time I've ever done this. I'm not great at chilling unless it's like a massage or a treatment or something like that. And on Sunday, I didn't have the girls were with their dad, and I went to a Pilates session in the morning, and then I came home and I had the whole day to myself, and I just watched 2 movies. Binge watched Emily in Paris, 2 series of that, and just a t-shirt in bed, and it was absolutely heavenly. And I just sat and had tea, and just
oversized
t-shirt. Actually, Brendan's t-shirt.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hair, makeup, manicures.
Yeah.
What's the priority?
Hair, I think.
Because you've lobbed your hair off.
Yeah, I have, and it's going through. Thank you. I feel like it's got to. I'm like, do I go? I'm at a stage where I'm like, do I grow it out? Anyway, yes, I think if your hair feels good, you feel right.
Yeah.
I think hair is such a big part of how we look, and also I always get my nails done. That's every sort of 3 weeks I have a new set of gels. Yeah.
And your makeup, have you, years of probably having show makeup done. Did you learn from that, or have you always loved doing your own makeup?
Do you know what? I actually am finding like I'm really struggling with doing my own makeup at the moment. I don't know. I think it's as you grow older and things change, and I'm finding like I'm needing more coverage, but I like less. So it's just finding the products that you really love. And there's so much on the market that it can be, don't you find, like quite overwhelming?
Completely and utterly.
I actually love your eyeshadow colour, by the way. It's really lovely.
Charlotte Tilbury.
Oh, is it? Oh, well,
Do you have a makeup artist that you sort of really trust, that is your go-to makeup artist?
Yeah, I do. She's always on shows and any TVs I do and things like that. Yeah. But yeah, I do. I think I love the idea of just fresh, less is more makeup. But I just feel like I'm playing with different sort of looks, all natural. But
looks pretty good for me.
Thank you.
Would you think you have a style icon?
I don't really have a style icon. I'm so inspired by so many different women every day, from influencers on Instagram or brands, or I'm loving Emily in Paris. The fashion in that's very pleasing. I'm really enjoying that.
Which character in particular?
Obviously Emily. I love the way she dresses. It's so fun.
And yet it's so the antithesis of how you dress.
Totally. But then I love Sarah Jessica Parker in Sex and the City and the way she dresses. I'm such a contradiction because I think when you love fashion as well, I was going to say that earlier, there's so many different, one day you might want to wear something that's a bit more bohemian, and then you might want to wear something that's more sort of classic and minimal. I mean, I do love to experiment with fashion.
Do you mood board at all? Because you talk about Pinterest and Instagram and...
I do. More on Instagram, I'll just save stuff. Yeah. I do love the idea of mood boarding, but it's just time. And also I'm not very techie, so the two together are not a great combo. But yeah, I do say I'm always taking photos on Instagram or saving things. And
you have a very busy life, with all your work projects and being a mother and so do you keep your wardrobe phenomenally organised?
I'm striving to. I don't. My dream and what I'm striving to do is have everything colour-coded, hangers to... I want to go extra, extra, extra with organisation in my house. Full stop. But I'm in a transition phase at home at the moment, so that's my goal. So yes, it's not at the moment.
Are you good at editing your wardrobe?
I'm getting better because I'm really wanting to create a more of a capsule wardrobe and things that I love that are forever pieces that I'll get out year after year after year, and then just adding those really fun trend pieces and accessories in. So it's a work in progress, but I'm definitely getting better.
Do you get gifted a lot?
I do, and I do, and it's lovely. I really do. But that's the thing. I'll clear out and then
a whole lot.
I mean, it's a quality problem. It's lovely. But yes, I think it's, that whole fashion is so fast, isn't it? And I think it's another thing. I don't know if you find this, that can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
And if it's something you love, there's so many wonderful things all the time. And I think I really love the idea of creating of quality, that pieces that you love and you feel amazing in, that you are just going to keep getting out, so that's what I'm striving to do. It's getting there.
Love that.
But don't you find you become emotionally attached to clothes too?
Well, I think you can do. And I mean, is there any piece in particular that has been in your wardrobe forever that you are really, really emotionally attached to?
There's not any specific piece, but I find when I'm clearing out, there'll be something that I've not worn for a long time, but I'll try it on and I'll go, oh, actually, I really like that. I might, instead of just going, you know what, let's give it another home. And so I'm learning to be a bit more ruthless.
Have you archived all your key S Club looks?
No, I'm not that organised.
But do you still own them? Looks that you perhaps collected Brit Awards in, or...
No, I've got a few pieces, like one little dress I wore in a video that now my daughter has worn a couple of times, and dance shoes from Strictly, and little bits and pieces from things, but no, not
a full-blown
no,
archive.
No.
God, did you see that documentary on Celine Dion.
did.
Her warehouse.
Oh my God, unbelievable. Yeah. That is organisation.
Oh my God, yes. Would you say you're a mood dresser or a planner? Do you plan your looks at the beginning of the week for what you'll be doing?
I need to plan more because at the moment I feel like I'm flying by the seat of my pants every day. So
Who doesn't?
well, yeah, but I do think you do need to plan if you want to. I don't know. I don't know what you think. I think it's hard to just go, I'm going to wear that, and then it's all put together.
I think it's very hard. I think
Yeah.
you need to plan the complete look and
Yeah.
then sort of let it go and then know that you've got half a dozen looks or 8 looks that you can just go straight to according to your mood.
Exactly. Yeah. So I do think planning is key to how you feel when you get dressed. But you've got to be organised for that. So that's a
Who
work
do
in
you
progress.
most trust in terms of opinion on what you're putting on, what you're wearing?
My mum. I talk to my mum a lot. We still share such a love of. We'll go out shopping together. Like our birthday treat is to go to Bicester together. That's like our little happy place. We love
Lovely.
it. But yeah, we'll always sort of, if we pick up something, we'll always FaceTime and
Will you?
show each other what we've got, or we'll try something on, or she'll always ask my opinion, which is lovely as well. So we have that
That bond.
love and that share of
So when you go
sharing.
to Bicester, which stores would you, which are your top 3 stores to make a beeline for?
Celine, love Celine, love Marge. Always go in there. I mean, there's so many, isn't there? To be honest with you, I'm someone who can't. I need. We're such creatures of habit. Me and my mum, when we go there, we literally go in the same way, and we just kind of go into each.
Do you walk the entire village?
Yeah, but we don't go into every shop. But I have my same
Yes.
shops that I go into.
Yeah.
And of course, I can't even think now because you've asked me the question. But yeah, it's just a happy place.
Yeah, it is.
It's just so lovely, isn't it? You go and have a coffee and a nice lunch and
Do
nice
you
girls' day out.
plan what you're looking for before you go shopping?
No, I'm more so now that I'm creating more of a capsule wardrobe. There'll be, I'm much more considered now when I'll see something I like. So I'm slower to just jump in and purchase something now. And now that I'm sort of filtering more, I know what things I would like to add in or need more of. Not need, want more of.
Want more.
Well, yeah.
What are the key elements for you for your capsule wardrobe?
All the classics. So I love a great pair of jeans. When you feel great great pair of trousers, a blazer, a t-shirt, denim shirt, all the classic pieces, a trench coat. I think it's great to have all of those really key pieces in your wardrobe. But for me, I mean, I'm a real classic girl, but everything's got to have a little bit of an edge to it. So it's about the shoulder or the buttons or the way it fits or the fabric, and very much about attention to detail, but very minimal, very classic.
Let's talk about travel. Mm-hmm. It's a well-known face. Are you very conscious of what you wear through the airport?
Yeah, it's such a lovely thing when I see women and they're all like chic and got their beautiful bag and everything's organised. So yeah, I think it's just in general, going back to that thing of how you feel. And I always want to feel ready for whatever I'm doing, whether it's traveling, whether it's a wedding, whether it's a dinner or whatever. I just love style so much and the way it makes you feel. So yeah, it's about wearing not the right thing, but feeling right in what you're wearing. Is that am I making?
No,
I'm waffling
that
away
makes
again.
sense. I noticed you sort of crooked your arm when you were talking about the bag. So what bag would that be?
My favourite probably is my Chanel bag. It's just a really gorgeous size and it goes with everything and it's perfect for night, it's perfect for day. It's a really nice size for me because I'm small, and yeah, so that's probably my go-to the metal, I'm getting really like detailed, but I'm very into sort of gold and silver, and it's like I can wear anything with it, if you know what I mean. It's not sort of really silver, really gold.
And colour? What is the colour?
Just black,
of the bag?
classic, chain strap.
Gold hardware, silver hardware?
Gold hardware.
Yeah.
Really classic, and it's a forever bag. And I think, again, going back to that, for me, that's pieces that, I mean, I've bought a couple of Chanel bags, but always at very sort of like for my 40th, my 30th, so very big sort of birthdays, or if I did something, I'd work towards it.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful things that I get a lot of joy out of that I'll wear over and over again.
That have marked a moment.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. So are you a good packer or a bad packer?
I think I'm a good packer, actually. I'm a good packer. I think I can sometimes, well, most of the time, overpack. But again, that's something I'm learning. I'm a real planner when I pack. So I write lists, and I like work out the outfits for the day, for the night. And I'm finding that works really well for me.
Do you snap yourself, take a wardrobe selfie of you in the look? Do you try everything on?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. Or I'll just flat lay everything, and then I pack things with hangers now.
Oh,
do you do that?
transformative.
Isn't it the best thing?
I mean, it makes your packing so quick.
Yeah, because then you
Hangers,
take it, you
roll.
get there, take it out, put it straight in the wardrobe.
I love that. I love that. What luggage do you use?
I have got antler set in like a sage green colour. Yeah.
Beautiful. Let's talk about your approach to sustainable fashion. What's your view? What are your views on it?
Just what I was saying before about how fashion can be so fast, and I'm very, very much moving towards slow fashion and investing in pieces that you absolutely love, that you want to keep forever. And then having fun. Fashion is about having fun and sort of adding those trend pieces. But I think it is, if you can build that sort of capsule wardrobe and you can make so many outfits from, different pieces.
Yeah.
I think that's a great way of doing your bit.
Yeah. Are you very aware of where something's made?
Yeah. I mean, I have much more awareness of it now. And, with sort of brands that I love, I do sort of read up about the brand and sort of learn more about the brand, especially if brands I'm working with or, Yeah.
What do you do with your clothes when you've had enough of them?
Well, either my daughters steal them.
Yes, that's good.
Or charity or friends.
Yeah.
Girlfriends.
Do you ever buy vintage?
Not so much. The odd piece here and there. I'd love to be a better vintage shopper, because when I see perhaps someone on Instagram, and they found something really cool, I'm like, it's so inspiring. But no, I'm not. I don't know about great vintage shops and things like that, but I do love the idea of it.
Yeah.
And the pieces that you can find that have got so much history and
Exactly.
story. And
I mean, it's quite hit and miss, but
but it's fun to sort of hunt through, isn't it?
maybe that's the next chapter.
Maybe, yeah.
What would you say is the oldest piece in your wardrobe?
Oh my gosh, my grandma was so stylish.
Oh, how lovely.
What was it? Some bags.
Yeah.
I've got this little pearlized hard shell bag, like a little evening-y kind of bag, and a clutch bag, like a really cool 70s, like tanned and khaki with gold hardware, like really 70s and really cool. And a couple of her old jackets. She was just so stylish.
And is it important to you that they were hers?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, and they just take pride and place in my wardrobe, and I do wear them as well. They're like one of them's a winter coat that I will get out on a cold night.
So you do vintage.
So I do vintage. Yeah,
Family vintage.
family vintage. Yeah.
I'm going to spin on to some quick fire questions. So what fashion advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
Have fun and just play more, I think. Just have fun.
Which fashion trend or era would you most like to see make a comeback?
Fashion trend or era? Studio 54, like 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What fashion or beauty trend would you consign to Room 101?
That's a really hard one because I think every decade has been cool in, right? Don't you think?
Yeah.
Fashion is just amazing, and every sort of decade there's been something incredible with fashion and style. So
A beauty trend then that would
a
need
beauty
to go
trend,
into 101.
or the perm. Oh my god, the hairstyles of the 80s. Oh my god. Yeah.
Yep. Guilty.
And blue eyeshadow. What was that?
Oh, what was that? I know. I've
Why
got
do you
blue
think
eyes.
that was a good idea?
I'm going to put blue eyeshadow on too.
What was my excuse then?
Your last impulse buy.
I bought a jacket at the airport on my way back from a trip I just took. And it wasn't like a really expensive purchase, but I've been saying, right, I'm not going to buy anything because I'm clearing out at the moment in the plan to move. And I just saw this really lovely jacket, and it was like a trench but with a leather collar, and I loved the two-tone, and I actually have got loads of wear out of it, but it was just like not long until I had to board the plane, and it was just like an impulsive kind of
Sounds
buy.
good.
Yeah.
Views on tattoos.
I love them. Yeah, I've got one, a little one down here, which was a moment of madness when I was in LA in my early 20s. But yeah, I keep thinking about getting one, but I just haven't done it yet. So I probably will get one. I think
High end or high street?
both.
Bling or bear?
Bear. Oh, I don't know. Bling or bear? Do you mean in
Yeah.
blinging up stuff
Yeah.
or more minimal?
Yeah.
Yeah, minimal.
Minimalism or maximalism it would be.
Minimalism, but I love both. But minimalism.
Couture or charity shop?
Couture.
Crocs, cute or puke?
Puke.
Sneakers or stilettos?
Or God, I'd go sneakers now, I think. Yeah.
Skinnies, boyfriends or wide legs?
Boyfriends.
Bodycon or boho?
Boho.
Sports luxe or rock chick?
I don't know if I fit into either of those. Sports luxe.
Yeah, I think so. Red carpet or relax?
Relax.
Trend or style?
Style.
Colour or monochrome?
Monochrome.
Experimental or uniform?
Both.
Cashmere or cotton?
Cashmere.
Hoarder or editor?
Oh, I'm in between all of these. What is this saying about me?
Work in progress.
Editor. Ish.
About to be.
About to be.
Charity
Exactly.
shop or
Manifesting.
resale?
Charity shop or
Resale.
charity shop.
Shapewear or sexy lingerie?
Sexy lingerie.
Tights or stockings?
Tights.
Bikini or one piece?
Both.
And finally, at the end of the day...
I'm terrible at picking one thing. I've learned something new from today.
Finally, at the end of the day, what do you or don't you wear in bed?
Well, again, that varies on the situation. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
That sounds good to me. Rachel, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. What a
So
lovely,
lovely.
lovely afternoon spent talking all things style with
Thank
you.
you. That was so lovely.
Love that.
Thank you.